الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما أما بعد إن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وأحسن الهدي هدي محمد وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. The topic for today is tadhiyah, sacrifice. Now when we hear that word, many questions spring to mind, especially when it comes to sacrificing for the sake of Islam, for the sake of Allah. You know, what exactly is it? How far do I have to sacrifice? Do I even really need to do it? Can I not be just a normal Muslim doing my the bare minimum, the obligation that I have to do, and just get on with life? Why do I need to sacrifice? There are so many questions that come to mind, and inshallah we will start by addressing some of them in this khutbah. Allah says in the Quran, لَن تَنَالُوا الْبِرَّ حَتَّى تُنْفِقُوا مِمَّا تُحِبُّونَ. And therein lies the answer to the question, why should we sacrifice? Allah says in the Quran that you will not attain this this level of piety or this high level of iman until you spend or sacrifice that which you love. So that is the first thing that we must keep in mind. The reason we sacrifice is such that we can get closer to Allah, such that we can get to love Allah and that Allah loves us. And this is what we're here for in life anyway. We know that, okay, we're here so that we worship such that we can attain Jannah. But that can't happen unless there is love between you and Allah. That cannot happen unless there is love. That you love Allah, and more importantly, that Allah loves you. And one of the ways of building that love, that relationship, is through sacrifice. And this is a normal relationship with human beings as well. If, for example, you have a friend and you see that he sacrifices so much for you, he has some money that he needs for something else, but he sees you in need and he says, I'll lend you that money. Or that he's got somewhere very important to go, but he sees that you need help here, so he stays and he helps you. That sacrifice that he does for you, it makes that relationship between you two stronger and closer, because you think, subhanAllah, the brother does so much for me. And next time when he's in need, you help him. And even if he's not in need, you always remember, subhanAllah, the brother did this, this and this, he sacrificed that, that and that for me. And so you always maintain that good relationship. Similarly, this is the case with Allah. When He sees that you are sacrificing for His sake, that you are giving up things that you desire, or things that you love, or things that you even need, for His sake and for the sake of Islam, that builds that close relationship with Him. And that is key. Now, the second part of the ayat, لَن تَنَالُوا الْبِرَّ حَتَّى تُنْفِقُوا مِمَّا تُحِبُّونَ, until you sacrifice that which you love. Very, very important. Because many people, they get the concept of sacrifice wrong. Because, sacrificing money, whatever money you have, you spend it on what you need. So, food, clothes, whatever is essential. And then you spend on whatever things that you desire, games, or other things that are nice. And then whatever's left over, 2-3 quid, let me give that to church. Let me give that to that brother who needs help. Whatever's left over, the extra stuff, you give that way. Or your time, for example. Let me do all the stuff that's essential, the stuff that I need to do, uni work, all that. And then whatever, going to cinema with the friends, or chilling outside, whatever. And then whatever time's left over, let me give that towards Allah, some worship, or volunteer in this organization, or do something like that. That's not sacrifice. Sacrifice is not sacrifice until it hurts. Okay, brother's raising money. You open your wallet. Do you give out the change, or do you go for the 20 quid note? You go for that 20 quid note. That is what sacrifice is. It hurts. I have 20 quid. I could buy so much. I could do so much with this. Until it hurts, that's not sacrifice. With your time as well. I really wanted to go there, or I really wanted to do this with that person. But let me stay here and help out these brothers doing these things. It hurts you. I didn't want to be here, but I wanted to do this. But that is what true sacrifice is. If you think just by doing the extras, you're only fooling yourself. You understand? That's not true sacrifice. Allah knows that. You yourself know that as well. So don't fall for that. Don't fall into that trap. If you want to sacrifice, do it properly. The thing is, we already know what sacrifice is because we do it all the time. Yeah? Wake up in the morning, the bed is so comfortable, I want to sleep a couple more hours. Wow, man, I gotta wake up, go uni. Or, you already do this. Or, you know what, money, I want to spend it on this or that which I like. But for that module, I need to buy that book. And so you spend money there. And with your time as well, man, I wish I could go out, all my mates are going there, but I got a lecture. So you're sacrificing your time here as well. So, the concept of sacrifice isn't alien to any of us. We do it all the time when it comes to like life and the dunya affairs. But it becomes something very difficult to do when it comes to something related to the akhirah. Because when you have to sacrifice for the sake of Allah, for the sake of the akhirah, things become difficult. Your life becomes really hard because you've sacrificed this and you've given up that. The thing is, embrace that difficulty. Don't consider that difficulty as, it's reducing my quality of life. Or don't consider that difficulty as, man, I'm not moving ahead in life. Or don't consider that difficulty as, Allah is punishing me. You have to remember that the reason why Allah puts difficulty in your life is that He loves you and He's testing you. It may be the case that Allah loves you so much that He wants to put you in such a high level of paradise. But you have never ever done anything in your life to warrant such a high reward. And so Allah tests you such that you can pass and reach that level. And then because Allah loves you, He tests you again such that you can pass and reach a higher level. So never ever just run away or have fear in the face of difficulties and obstacles. Accept it. It's part of your life. you're going to have to go through it. And if you pass, there's a reward for you at the end. There's a reward in it at the end in it for you. Some of the Sahaba, some of the people in the past, they used to get worried when their life became easy, everything's calm, and they realized, I'm not being tested, there's no difficulty in my life. Has Allah forgotten about me? Has Allah forsaken me? Has Allah given up on me and said, I don't care about this slave anymore? That is how your outlook on life should be. No difficulties, no problem. I'm going to embrace it. And I'm going to beat it. I've got Allah on my side, so I will succeed. I will succeed. This is such a strange thing that we have in our deen that no one else has. The Prophet ﷺ said, strange indeed is the affairs of a believer. And this is not the case except for a believer, he will say, because if something good happens to him, he's grateful to Allah, that's good for him. And if something bad happens to him, he's patient, and that's good for him also. So you see, whatever life throws in your direction, if it's good, that's good for you. If it's bad, that's good for you as well. And imagine if you live life with that mindset. Nothing that's ever thrown in your way will ever put you off or throw you off or make you go off course. Because you're always remembering, you know what, this is good for me. Allah's on my side. If anything good happens to me, alhamdulillah, Allah gave it to me. If anything bad happens to me, alhamdulillah, Allah wants better for me. And so, you're consistently going ahead. You know, one of the earliest surahs that was revealed to the Prophet ﷺ was Ya ayyuhal muddathir qum fa'anzir. So this is right near the beginning. Allah is ordering the Prophet ﷺ, it's not enough just for you to be a Muslim. You have to spread the word. You know, give da'wah to others. Call others to Islam as well. So that was what was revealed. The Prophet ﷺ, when that was revealed, the first words he says, La rahata ba'da al-yawm. There is no rest after today. No more chilling. It's just have to work hard for the sake of Allah. And that is what our mindset should be as well. Allah gave us a task to do in this dunya, we fulfill it. No time to rest. It may seem quite difficult, it may seem very like I'm being asked too much. But you have to understand, right? We all know, okay, I'm a slave of Allah, you're a slave of Allah. We've heard this so many times, it's just become a phrase. It's literally the case that you're the slave of Allah. He is your master. Anything that He orders, you have to do. You got no say in it. You have no freedom to say, you know what, actually, I'd rather do this. Or, no, I don't want to do that. You're His slave. You've got no option. Allah orders you to do something, you go out and do it. No matter what difficulty it causes in your life. This is what sacrifice is. Okay, what reward do you get out of it? Yeah? Allah says in the Quran, إِنَّ اللَّهَ اشْتَرَى مِنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ أَنفُسَهُمْ وَأَمْوَالَهُمْ بِأَنَّ لَهُمُ الْجَنَّةِ. It means that Allah has purchased from the believers their lives and their wealth, and in return, they shall get Jannah. So this is the first part, where Allah is saying, you know what you have don't belong to you. It's mine. Your lives and your wealth, everything that you say, you know, Allah, my life, I can do what I want. My money, I can spend it how I like. It's not yours. Allah's already said it, it's mine. So what I order you to do with it, that's what you do. You know, subhanAllah, a lot of the Sahaba, they understood this in their lives and they did it like this. There was one time, there was a young boy, an orphan during the time of the Prophet ﷺ, and he had a plot of land that he inherited before, and he wanted to build something on it. But there was a tree in that land that didn't belong to him. It belonged to another Sahabi, and he couldn't build anything on that land because of that tree. So he went to the other Sahabi, his name was Abu Lubaba. He went to Abu Lubaba and said, I want to build on my land, but I can't because of your tree. Can I have that tree, please? Can you give it to me? And Abu Lubaba says, no, it's my tree, I don't want to give it to you. And so the boy said, all right, fine, I'll buy it. And then Abu Lubaba replied, no, I don't want to sell it. Go away. And so the boy said, you're stopping me from building on my land, I'm going to complain to the Prophet. So he went to the Prophet and he complained about it. Then the Prophet ﷺ called for Abu Lubaba, said, bring him here. Abu Lubaba came forward. The Prophet ﷺ said, what do you give him the tree? And then the Prophet, Abu Lubaba replied, no, it's my tree, it's my right. You can't take it from me, I want the tree. So the Prophet ﷺ, alright, fine. Why don't you sell it to me? And then Abu Lubaba replied, no, I don't want to sell it. I want to keep the tree, it's my tree. If I want to keep it, I can keep it if I want. And then the boy started crying. Then the Prophet ﷺ turned to Abu Lubaba again and said, give this tree to the boy and Allah will give you a tree in Jannah. And Abu Lubaba said, nah, I don't want it. And he walked away. Then there was another Sahabi, he was there, he was watching all this. His name was Abu Dahdah. And then he went to the Prophet ﷺ and he says, does the deal apply for me as well? If I give that tree to the boy, will Allah give me a tree in Jannah? And then the Prophet ﷺ said, yes. So the Sahabi Abu Dahdah, he ran after Abu Lubaba and said, wait, come back. I'll buy that tree of you. And then Abu Lubaba said, Deen, you hear, the tree's not for sale. And then he replied back by saying, but you don't know the price I'm offering. What are you offering? I have an orchard. I live in it. It's my house. An orchard surrounded by 400 trees. So he's a rich man. All the fruit or whatever that grows on those trees, he sells it, he makes money. So I have this orchard, and he's got a really nice house in it. So that whole orchard, I'll give it to you for that tree. I'll be like, are you serious? Yeah, I'm serious. The whole one tree, or that whole orchard. And then Abu said, khalas, it's a deal. And so Abu Dahdah, he went home, and he told his wife, get out, it's not our house anymore. And the kids, they were getting out. And she said, what's up, what's going on? And so Abu Dahdah, he said the whole story. And then she said, what a bargain, let's go. Yeah? And so she's dragging the kids out as well. And they've got some of the fruits in their pockets. And she's like, no, take them out, it's not ours anymore. What was that bargain? The bargain was, they are now guaranteed a tree in Jannah. That means they are guaranteed a place in Jannah. Yeah? So that's it. Because they bought that, they gave away that orchard, they gave that tree to that boy after purchasing it from Abu Lubaba. They're now guaranteed a place in Jannah. And that's what sacrifice is all about. You've given everything away in this dunya, no problem. How long are you going to live here anyway? Yeah, 60, 70 years, 100 if you're lucky. But then look at what you get in return if you were to sacrifice all of that happiness for 100 years. You're getting the akhirah, you're getting Jannah, wherein you live for all eternity. And the person that will, the lowest level of Jannah will be 10 times the dunya and everything in it. So what's the point? Just gathering everything, and saving up, building wealth in this dunya. If you never sacrifice it all, and get it all in the akhirah for all eternity anyway. This is what Allah says. He has bought from you your lives and your wealth. And if you do what He says with that life and with your wealth, then khalas, your reward is Jannah. You have it. You know, it's not just regarding health as well. Many Sahaba, for example, gave their lives. The first Muslim to die for the sake of Islam was a woman called Sumayya. When people found out that she had become Muslim, they tied her up and they started torturing her. And they were forcing her to make her leave Islam, go back to your old religion. And she refused. Her life's in danger, she is being tortured. She was sacrificing her body. You know what? It's not mine anyway. Allah wants what Allah wants. Until they killed her. Abu Jahl got a spear and ran through her stomach with it. And she died. And so for a lot of people, that's sad, man, subhanAllah. She passed away. Okay, it is. She passed away. But look what she gained. The honor of being the first shaheed in Islam. And that high level, and that high level in Jannah. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. So can I ask everyone to move forward a bit, such that the people at the back can inshallah have some space as well. Okay, so we've understood why we sacrifice. We've understood to what extent we sacrifice. Yeah? We've understood the reward of what we get once we sacrifice. Now, just for one small caveat. It is important for us to understand that activism and sacrifice is not the same thing. Is not the same thing. For example, a lot of us are uni students. Uni students spend a lot of time being involved in different societies or extracurricular work or activities. And you think, I'm giving so much time, I'm putting so much effort into these things. This is a good thing. Yeah, it may be a good thing. But you have to understand that what's your intention behind it all? What's your intention? What's your intention behind it all? Okay, let's give an example. Let's give the example of Peter Tatchell. Yeah, Peter Tatchell is a gay rights activist, and he's been a gay rights activist for a very long time. He's like one of the most senior ones now. But decades ago, he was like the only one, and everyone was against him, majority of people, and even the laws was against him. But he strove and strove. And if you read some of the things that he writes, and that the amount of effort that he put in, and the amount of ihsan that he put in, hard work into his work, such that we find the success that he gained this dunya. Look where he is now, and look how much rights he's attained. This man put in a lot of effort. This man sacrificed so much. Or was it for the sake of Allah? Of course not. So everything that he's gained, the reward is here in this dunya, whether he accepts it or not. Yeah? He's been given the reward in this dunya, he can do whatever he wants. Okay, he doesn't want to accept the reward, he wants to continue sacrificing. That's up to him. But he has no share of the reward in the akhirah. He's not getting that. Why? Because sacrifice is not sacrifice if it's not for the sake of Allah. If it's not for the sake of Allah. So imagine, yeah, you're here, and something that you care about is maybe, I don't know, the environment. And so you do a lot of awareness work, and you do a lot of extracurricular stuff, and you give it lots of hours into this, making people aware of it, the situation. MashaAllah, that's good. But if that takes you away from you developing yourself as a Muslim, or if that takes you away from your obligations, you know, sometimes you're not even praying 5 times a day because you forgot, you're so busy in that work, that sacrifice will lead you to nothing. That sacrifice will lead you to nothing. So it's very, very important for us to understand that. A lot of the times we put effort into so much things. But understand what return will I get from this. The final point I want to make is, okay, we've understood the need for sacrifice in our lives and why we must do it. The first thing that we start off with, each and every single one of us right now, is sacrifice for sins. It can be difficult to do because some sins you love doing, or some sins you're addicted to, or some sins really make you happy, or some sins, you know, you use it to unwind. And so you have so many sins. But you must sacrifice that thing first. Because it becomes extremely difficult for you to progress in life if you still have those sins holding you back. Holding you back. So no matter how far you progress, you realize sooner or later that progression is not true. You're still stumbling, no matter how far I've achieved, because it's still those sins that are holding me back. Not only that, your sins affect the rest of the ummah. It will affect, not just, for example, you're in uni, it's going to affect your friend circle. It's going to affect those who you do your project with. It's going to affect your local community. And finally, it will affect the rest of the ummah. We know that Hadith of Prophet ﷺ, the ummah is like one body, when one part of it is in pain, the rest of it is in pain too. So we understand it as, you know what, like when one part of the ummah is oppressed, the rest of us, we feel it too, that's true. But that connection happens the other way as well, in the sense that if one part of the ummah is committing sins, then other parts of it will feel the effects, the effects of those sins. And notice that is true as well. When one part of the ummah doing really good work and doing khayr, other parts of it will feel the goodness in it too. We know, for example, Salahuddin al-Ayyubi, when he conquered Palestine. How was he successful? In the night time, he'd walk through his ranks of his army, everyone's in their tents preparing or sleeping. He'd look out for the ones that are performing tahajjud, sacrificing their sleep, getting up in the night, praying, and then he'd put those men on the front line of the army the next day. And through the actions of them, the whole army was successful. So your sacrifice won't just bring benefit to you, it will bring benefit to others as well. Step 1 is sacrificing your sins, but then step 2 is just sacrificing not necessarily sins, but then shortcomings. And then step 3 is just, okay, you don't have these shortcomings, but then you're moving forward. How can I get better and better? Once you start doing this, again, you see that those around you will be benefited. We have the case of Sa'ad ibn Abi Waqqas, one of the companions of the Prophet after the Prophet died. He was a general. He's leading his army into Persia, and against the opposition, they have a bigger army, they have better resources, they're more tactically poised, but they're losing. So they go out to battle in the day, they're losing, they come back, they regroup in the night, and they go out the next day, they're losing. Sa'ad ibn Abi Waqqas was like, there must be a reason why we're losing. You know, from a worldly sense, we have all the resources, we have the advantage. If we're losing, that means, you know, Allah's hope is not here. There must be a reason for this. And so he told his whole army, think of any sin that you're doing and seek forgiveness from Allah for it. And then think of any shortcomings that you have, and then make up those shortcomings. Maybe you're not praying your sunnah, you're just praying your fard, whatever. Yeah? And then one person realized that, subhanAllah, no one in this army is using the siwak. Yeah? Like brushing their teeth, using the siwak. And so that day, everyone, Sa'ad ibn Waqqas ordered, all right, give a siwak to every single member in the army. So they were all given, and so they all started brushing their teeth during that day of the battle beforehand. Because we know it's the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. In fact, it's such a strongly recommended sunnah as well. So the Prophet ﷺ said, like, had it not been difficulty for the ummah, I would have made this fard. That's such how much of a strong sunnah it is. And because of that, they won that battle. They sacrificed, they realized their shortcomings, and they corrected it. You know, while they were all brushing their teeth, from the Persian army, a spy was sent over to see what the Muslims do. He came, he saw, and he ran away and he reported back, they're sharpening their teeth, they're going to eat us. And because of that morale dropped in their army, they won. So, subhanAllah, the benefits come from all directions when you realize the importance of sacrifice. And it's so important for us here, especially in London. Yeah? Look, I've been to different places around the world, and I've seen different Muslims, yeah, who are trying to sacrifice in different ways, but they don't have the ability to. There are 3 main things that are stopping them. So first, there is a group, they are living in such poverty that the most important thing or the only thing on their minds is, how am I going to survive the day? How am I going to feed my family? So they are unable to focus on the extra things that make them better Muslims. The second group is, they have the provisions, like us, but they are being oppressed, whether by a foreign invader or whether by the government of their own country. And because of that oppression, they are not able to focus on the things that they can sacrifice upon that would make them a better Muslim. And the third group is people who are living in safety, living in security, they have enough provisions, but there's no one to teach them about Islam. They have no knowledge, and so they just don't care. They're just living in ignorance. As for us, we do not have any of those excuses. No one here is living in abject poverty. No one here is in fear of their lives. And no one here can complain by saying, there's no one to teach me Islam, or there's no one that I can go to that will help me. We are primed. Allah has given us all of the resources, all the factors have come together that put us in a position that we are able to be the best of Muslims. opportunities that aren't given to other Muslims around the world. But we have it. We have it. Allah has given it to us. So if we do not grab those opportunities, then on the Day of Judgment, we will be the losers, and it will just be our own fault because we just wasted away our lives here and there when they did it. I'll end on the statement of Imam Ahmad. One day his son went to him and said, "When are we going to rest? When is there time to, just relax and chill? Because we're working so hard, learning and teaching and helping people." And so Imam Ahmad replies, "You rest as soon as you enter those first steps into Jannah." As soon as you enter those first steps into Jannah. This life is not meant for you to relax. Not that relaxing is haram. But work hard for the sake of Allah. Sacrifice all of these things that take you away from remembering Allah and getting closer to Allah. And then on the Day of Judgment, when you've been told, you know what, you're successful, enter into Jannah. Won't that moment be all the more sweeter that you've entered? I've given so much for my life. This is the reward that I've gained from it. This is the reward that I've gained from it. And that's what we should all be striving for. That's the thing that should always be in the forefront of our minds. May Allah enable us all and accept all of our sacrifices. يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد عباد الله إن الله يأمركم بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون فاذكروني أذكركم واشكروني ولا تكفرون أقم الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. ويل لكل همزة لمزة الذي جمع ماله وعدده يحسب أن ماله أخلده كلا لينبذن في الحطمة وما أدراك ما الحطمة نار الله الموقدة التي تطلع على الأفئدة إنها عليهم مؤصدة في عمد ممددة. الله أكبر. الله من حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك ونستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين ألم تر كيف فعل ربك بأصحاب الفيل ألم يجعل كيدهم في تضليل وأرسل عليهم طيرا أبابيل ترميهم بحجارة من سجيل فجعلهم كعصف مأكول الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.